Hey team, George here, manager and CrossFit coach. Today we're going to show you a few things with press. So this is going to be the first of a 4 video series. First off, looking at the strict press. We're going to look at a couple of common flaws, common mistakes, and then how to overcome those. The first, probably most important aspect to think about before anything else is actually where our hands are going to be on the bar, and therefore where do our elbows sit. Okay? Now hands, to a certain extent, is dependent upon you, the athlete, how tall you are, how wide your shoulders are, etc, etc. A general rule of thumb is, to begin with, unless very uncomfortable tightness in the shoulder, you want your hand to sit just outside the shoulder. Sit just there. Okay? Hands just outside of my shoulder width. Alright? That should hopefully be comfortable enough to be able to hold that position. From there, we're thinking about the elbow. Now, common mistake, why I'm addressing it first off, is the elbow comes down or actually behind the hands. Yeah? If they're too far down or even behind, when we should be resting, so the bar is sat in our front rack position, yeah, we're actually having to work really hard and not dropping this bar. So we've got to make sure that elbow is directly underneath the hand and maybe even slightly forwards. Now we don't want to be doing anything crazy, we want the elbow to be directly underneath the hand. So it should be vertical to the floor, okay? So again, I'm just going to show you what that means. Width of my hands, I'm going to have my elbows facing down towards the floor. Not behind me, okay? And not in the front rack position. Alright guys, so the first aspect that I want to look at and talk about is range of motion. Big topic of debate. Now in my world, range of motion is full or at its fullest, so if you can go further than you should to a certain extent. With the strict press in mind, we are wanting to come all the way back to the shoulders and above the head from there. But generally in a training environment, we do want to get full range of motion. It's going to give us the best bang for our buck, give us most strength in return, and both sides, if that's what we're aiming for. Alright, so first things first, range of motion, we want to come down to the shoulders. Range of motion and making sure we come down to the shoulders, unless otherwise, is make sure we're not bouncing off the bottom. Alright, self-explanatory. We should be coming down softly, controlled. Whether you completely stop or not is entirely up to you. Just ensure that we're not bouncing off the chest and going into our next round. Should be smooth movement the entire way through. Alright, so the second point I want to make is our bar path. So basically, the path in which the bar comes off of our shoulders and ends above our head. What we want to see is a straight line as much as possible. Okay? The straighter the line, the stronger we're going to be. If it starts to come away from the body, we're going to lose strength. It's going to feel a lot heavier than it should do. Alright? Now the only problem is we've got this in the way. Yeah? If we go straight through, we're going to hit ourselves in the chin. So there's a movement in which we're going to bring the head back as we press, and then push the head forwards underneath the bar as we finish. Okay? So straight bar as much as possible. I'm going to show you a couple of reps now of how to do it and how not to do it. Okay guys, so we've spoken about the bar path and the fact that we want it to be straight up as much as we possibly can. Now I'm going to talk about where the bar ends. Okay, so once we've gone through that bar path, how are we finishing the rep? Where should it be? A common flaw with this one is the bar ends in front of us. More often than not known to ourselves. If we've got tight shoulders, tight traps, tight back, this in front of us feels like directly above us. Okay, so you need to be very, very conscious of that. What may feel like directly above will actually be right in front. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of reps of what I mean now, of again the do's and don'ts, where we want to be opposed to where we don't want to be. Thinking about that bar directly above the head, a really nice way to think about it is if you were to break your head into two straight through the middle, the bar wants to be directly above the second half of your head, if that makes sense. So the bar is directly above the back end of our head. Okay? We don't want it behind and we don't want it in front. Okay guys, so that pretty much covers it for the strict press or the shoulder press. Alright, remember those elements we spoke about, the elbow, the bar path, where the bar ends, and our spinal stability. But ultimately, you're going to gain more strength, more size from doing so. Okay? So that was the first video of the press series, first of 4, as mentioned. The next video is going to be addressing the push press. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions, any comments, comment below wherever you're watching this, and I'll get back to you and help you out.